And welcome to Hannity. And following yesterday's indictment, this morning, former National Security Advisor John Bolton, he pled not guilty to 18 counts of mishandling and sharing classified information. We've got the very latest coming up in just a moment. Also, during last night's New York City mayoral debate, both Andrew Cuomo and communist Marxist Mamdani refused to say they would support New York Governor Kathy Hochul's bid for re-election. This is big news. Take a look.
Show of hands, who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election.
So no decision.
It was Cuomo. He's the one that selected Hochul to be his running mate, and Hochul just endorsed commie Marxist Mamdani for mayor. Now, Congresswoman Elise Stefanik, considered by many to be a real challenger to Hochul next November. She will join us coming up. Also, the ICE protests across the country have somehow now gotten even more bizarre. You decide. All right, we have a lot more on that coming up. And by the way, we will preview the No Kings protesting weekend that's happening all over the country. God help us. But first, this week, President Trump showed you, the American people, and the world what true leadership really looks like. Take a look at some of the best moments from what was an extraordinary and busy week. Take a look.
Over the past 2 years, I've met many of the families of the Israelis taken hostage and those that were taken hostage. Unbelievable. I've looked into their eyes. I've seen the worst nightmares of their suffering, but I've also seen something else, the beautiful love of the people, the love of people, frankly, that hold things together, the love that gives you the courage to carry on through thousands of years of persecution and repression. This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping and praying for. Together we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there.
In his final moments, Charlie testified to the greatness of America and to the glory of our Savior, with whom he now rests in heaven. He fought for free speech, religious liberty, strong borders, and a very strong and proud America. In everything he did, he put America first.
Now, fresh off the heels of securing one of the most improbable and historic peace deals in modern history, President Trump hosted the Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House today. He signaled progress towards yet another historic peace agreement, this time between Ukraine and Russia. Take a listen.
We had a big call yesterday, as you know, with President Putin, and we'll be talking about it. President Zelensky of Ukraine has endured a lot. I mean, he really has. He's endured a lot, and we've endured it with him. To be honest, it's been a long time, and I think we're making great progress. So we're going to be talking about that today. We'll be talking about what took place yesterday with my phone call with President Putin. And I think that things are coming along pretty well.
And while speaking with reporters, the president also issued a very strong warning to Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. Take a look.
It has been reported that Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to around with the United States. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, I think that was a pretty clear, unambiguous message. But while President Trump shows what true leadership and strength actually looks like, Democrats, they continue embarrassing themselves with one bizarre stunt after another. Take a look at Radical Squad member AOC and Grandpa Bernie and their town hall this week on Fake News CNN.
Do you think that taxpayers should be paying for the medical care of immigrants that are in the country illegally? Thank you.
Well, we already know, and this is a common lie that Republicans have been repeating. We're sick of leaders who only want to spend their time talking about that instead of talking about real issues that affect our lives. Instead of talking about health care, instead of talking about wages, instead of talking about having air that's drinkable, air that's breathable and water that's drinkable.
You tell me, think it's a good idea to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the richest people in the country and then make massive cuts to health care for working class people?
I think Chuck Schumer has voted for continuing resolutions 13 times in the last 4 years, and he has the opportunity to vote for one again, but he's refusing to come to the table.
Well, I think, look.
You know what this country looked like before the EPA? Rivers in rural areas were on fire because of corporations poisoning the people who lived in those areas.
Are you saying that Senator Schumer should not be worried about a primary challenge from you?
All right.
No.
Let me jump in on this one. This is what we're
talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
This is what we're
talking about. You have a country that is falling apart.
There is your leadership of the modern, radical, extreme Democratic Socialist Party. Democrats now have repeatedly voted against reopening the government. By the way, they don't even want to help fund the military, as they have now refused literally to cave in on their insane demands. $1.5 trillion, refund NPR, refund PBS, $200 billion for health care for illegals. By the way, something that President Trump told our own Fox News' Maria Bartiromo. It's a huge mistake. They may want to pay attention. Take a look.
Chuck is, at the end of the line. He's being beaten by everybody that they poll against him. And, what he did is he did the right thing a couple of years ago on something like this. And he got hurt by his party. And it doesn't, I don't think it matters to him. I think he's just so dead that he'll do anything. I think they could just stay out forever. To be honest with you. Now, what we're doing is we're cutting Democrat programs that we didn't want because they made one mistake. They didn't realize that gives me the right to cut programs that Republicans never wanted, giveaways, welfare programs, et cetera. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently.
And as Democrats embarrass themselves with one bizarre performative stunt, one after another, Senate Majority Leader Thune ripped into the left for their latest stunts. He told FoxNews.com in an interview, quote, "I think there's a ton of dysfunction in the Democratic caucus, and I think this rally this weekend is triggering a lot of this." So how are Democrats trying to spin their shutdown disaster? They, of course, they want to blame Trump, blame Republicans, despite the fact they are the ones voting to shut down the government. The Republicans, they want a clean CR, keep government spending at current levels while they negotiate. And they're telling you not to believe your lying eyes. In other words, they think we're stupid. Listen to what House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had to say.
We need to reopen the government, and we need to reopen the government now. Part of the problem is that House Republicans are nowhere to be found. Literally have been on vacation for 3 consecutive weeks, have canceled votes for 3 consecutive weeks. They are in the Legislative Witness Protection Program.
Somebody tell this guy the House already passed the CR. Now, make no mistake, shutting down the government goes against every single solitary position that Chucky Schumer has taken throughout his entire political career, hence the Schumer shutdown. So what's changed? He is scared to death of this new radical base, the Squad, and AOC, and Jasmine Crockett, Grandpa Bernie, Pocahontas. He is desperately trying to appease all of them to cling on to perceived power. He has none. They're in charge. He is leader in name only. The radical base organizing more, these No Kings protests all across the country tomorrow. By the way, I have a bad feeling about this, and I hope I'm wrong. One of which Chucky is actually attending. I'm sure he's going to be well received. Take a listen.
The vast majority of Americans want to preserve this democracy, and the No Kings rally says that in a very strong way. I will join the marchers to celebrate what makes this country so great.
Well, I haven't finalized my schedule for the weekend, given the sensitivities around the government shutdown. But I support the right of every single American to participate in the rallies that are going to take place this week. And showing up to express dissent against an out-of-control administration. That's as American as motherhood, baseball, and apple pie.
Now, yesterday, the White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt called out Democrats for their unwavering allegiance to this new radical wing of the Democratic Party. Take a look.
The Democrat Party's main constituency are made up of Hamas terrorists, illegal aliens, and violent criminals. That is who the Democrat Party is catering to, not the Trump administration and not the White House and not the Republican Party, who is standing up for law-abiding Americans, not just across the country, but around the world.
Now, these comments prompted this unhinged meltdown from the House Minority Leader, Hakeem Jeffries. Take a look.
We got Caroline Leavitt, who's sick. She's out of control. And I'm not sure whether she's just demented, ignorant, a stone-cold liar, or all of the above. But the notion that an official White House spokesperson would say that the Democratic Party consists of terrorists, violent criminals, and undocumented immigrants, this makes no sense. That this is what the American people are getting from the Trump administration in the middle of a shutdown.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.